deepened the market, as it were. When you look at the whole lot of the company that are quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange today, it's less than 200. So that shows that if you look at our economy, you look at our size, you look at the position we are occupying, even in Africa, you will find out that that is far away. So therefore, all he has said is that the market has to be deepened. And when you're going to do that, you have to develop products, you have to develop listings, you have to even organize your own regulatory functions. So he has looked at all those areas, and I believe that that document looks to me like a typical budget. You see, a typical budget is very good on paper. Now we want to implement, and when you look at the pedigree, the background of the man we are talking about, Oscar, we need to believe him. All we can do at the operations level is to cooperate with him and see him actioning all that he has said. I believe that he will succeed.
Mike, let's get on to you. What is exactly new in what Oscar Oyema's statement contained yesterday? Is there anything new there that we haven't heard before?
Well, except that there's a sense of urgency in what he's saying. I mean, it's a man who is in a hurry. If he takes the military way.
I'm sorry there to cut you in. We'll need to take a very quick break here now. The story that is developing as far as the Nigerian Stock Exchange is concerned, the story is developing, and we want to get across to the Securities and Exchange Commission to hear what the SEC will have to say regarding the judgment. The breaking news that the removal of Ndi Okereke has been declared null and void. We'll come back to you after this break very quickly, just about a few seconds, then we'll get back to you. Okay, well, now we have online on the phone to us the head of the media at the Securities and Exchange Commission, Lanre Oloye, who says the SEC have a few statements to make to the media and to the world right now regarding the breaking news on the Ndi Okereke's judgment against the Securities and Exchange Commission. Let's hear from Lanre. Thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you, Bosin. So, his statement of appeal against the judgment today at the Federal High Court in Lagos, and here is our statement. In August 2010, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, exercised its statutory powers of intervention and took a regulatory action to protect the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the interests of the investing public, and the Nigerian economy as a whole. The judgment read in court this morning questioned procedural aspects of SEC's regulatory action. SEC disagrees and intends immediately to file an appeal against the decision. It is important to note, however, that the judgment makes no comment whatsoever about the serious allegations of misconduct, fraud, and breach of trust made against the former Director General of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Mrs. Ndi Okereke, and some of her SY colleagues. It is also important to note that Mrs. Ndi Okereke has not attempted in any forum and in any manner whatsoever to answer those allegations on their merits. SEC remains committed to its objectives of protecting the interests of investors and maintaining confidence in the securities market, and will continue to vigorously pursue its efforts to ensure that transparency, accountability, and justice prevail in the sector. Thank you, Bosin. That is our position.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Lanre Oloye. That puts it through that the SEC is challenging Justice Mohammed Idris' judgment.
Exactly that.
All right, thank you. We will await further developments regarding this very important breaking news right now. Larry Oloye, the head of media at the Securities and Exchange Commission, and of course you just heard it in summary, a very quick one, the reaction from the Securities and Exchange Commission that the SEC is not comfortable with Justice Mohammed Idris ruling, the procedures taken by the SEC for the removal of Fundi Okereke in the UK on the 5th of August last year on the first part. And on the second part, the SEC says the former Director General and the rest of our team while she was in office are yet to make any refuter of the allegations of financial impropriety while they were in office. We told you earlier on that it is not over yet. Now let's take you back to where something we've tried to put together for you on the program, which we call Still on Tap. As far as Fundi Okereke and the SEC and the stock exchange is concerned, if you remember yesterday, the new Director General, Oscar Oyema, says that the man whom he took over from, Emmanuel Ihazaba, will remain on the Council of the Exchange until the conclusion of the forensic audit. That forensic audit of the stock exchange was one of the investigations that the SEC says it will carry out on the 5th of August last year. But there were a lot of stories here that a part of this report has been concluded but hasn't seen the light of day. There are issues surrounding those court cases about the council, the former council of the exchange, those who were elected on the 6th of August 2009, that the SEC last year, August, a year after, declared null and void, asked Aliko Dangote to step aside as the president of the stock exchange on the conclusion of the court case that Aliko has in court. We heard that the Court of Appeal will decide on that sometime in October. So we have days and months still ahead. As you have heard from one of the guests here live in the studio, Mike Iteboje, this ruling has very serious implications for the stock exchange, for the SEC and the market as a whole. This is a very landmark judgment. Now the SEC says it's going to Court of Appeal with immediate effect to challenge the decision to quash the actions of the SEC of August last year and the 500 million naira damages awarded in favor of the former Director General, Professor Fundi Okereke in the UK. That's the story right now on the street. Gentlemen, let's get back to you. Olao Gedengbe from GTI Capital, we thank you very much, as well as the President of the CRS, Mike Iteboje. Now, very quickly, the SEC has just decided to read a statement and says that this will go to Court of Appeal, and it looks like may as well got to Supreme Court. Mike.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to happen that way because the SEC believes in its cause, and I believe they know what they are doing, so they will take it all the way because it also affects the interpretation of the act.
Of the Investment and Securities Act, which the SEC depended on
exactly
for action.
So it calls to question whether they really have those powers, and that's why they want to get to the Supreme Court, as far as I know, to get a proper interpretation. And I believe at the end of the day, we'll see the story again, these events unfolding.
It's a very interesting times. It looks like a two-pronged approach right now from what you heard from Larry Oloye, the head of media at the Securities and Exchange Commission. He said there are two parts to this. First, the procedure of the August 5 last year taking, then the allegations of financial impropriety and whether the stock exchange was at any point either insolvent or near bankruptcy. So it looks like the SEC is looking at this ruling from 2 points rather than a single point.
Well, what interests me most is the fact that one of the issues that is making Nigeria to occupy its rightful position in the Committee of Nations is the fact that we are now ready to play the game in accordance with the rules. So if you look at our judiciary, you know, there are very many realms of operation. The presidency has said, let everybody do what he knows to do. So the judiciary is independent, and every one of us, the SDC, Indi, Okereke, and everybody, they have the right. And so what we are seeing now, like the president of has said, is the fact that everybody is having authority to exercise his right. And I can assure you, we have said it's going to be very interesting it's likely to get to the Supreme Court. That's what we say here.
Let us get back to the new CEO of the Stock Exchange, Oscar Oyema. He made some very important statement about the Council of the Exchange and the ownership of the exchange and demutualization in his statement yesterday. Mike, let's start from you. This new transitional council, based on what the Securities and Exchange Commission said, that this new council with the co-opted members, professionals from outside, will guide the stock exchange from being a company limited by